Hello everyone, my name is Darьi Молодяковой. I am a UPROCK school student. In this video, I want to present to you my project, the redesign of online shop OMA THE LABEL. It is a democratic brand of Naomi Aneke. She is a stylist from New York who has worked there for 5 years. She immigrated from Norway, where her Nigerian family live. The items that you can see here tell us about her life story and embody the mix of few continents' cultures. For example, you can see evidence of her African roots mixed with the modern elements. I would also like to translate this idea of versatility in the new site design. Let's look at what the old original design is about. As you can look at the screen, there are simple two columns grid and monotonous blocks. It is inconvenient to read along text lines. You can also pay attention to the lack of customized graphic elements, the close distance between blocks, and the inharmonious color combination in the site. All of this creates a sense of disorder and incompleteness. It's difficult to trust the site with such a design. A branch of elements hierarchy, lack of a single system of using are found. The quality of photo content is sometimes poor, which makes the site less appealing. I set myself the following tasks. To make the site more user-friendly, to implement a thoughtful design, and to create a single system of elements. To convey the character of the brand, its face, but using a more personalized and a distinctive design. If possible, to maintain continuity between the old and new site versions, to prevent a variety of photo content in the most adventurous way. Let's look at the resulting design. As you can see, the color palette has been changed. For example, there is a pale pink in the background. It's a color with the label native and frivolous, but at the same time, it is attractive to girls all over the world. Using this provocative color in its design, the brand OMA THE LABEL seems to call for not being shy, to be yourself, to defend the right to your own perception of the world. Dynamics and contrast have become fundamental to the style of the new site. The large volumetric and more airy blocks have been inserted. Both black and white and color photographs are used. The grid of pages also carries the idea of some kind of external randomness. 8 guides are used in the first page. It was necessary to create a more dynamic, complex composition. The main text blocks are located along the central power line, which allows users to focus on the textual information. The catalog page uses a 4-column grid. This solution allows a user to see a wide range of products and quickly make a choice in favor of the model they like. The frame is formed by elegant thin lines and indents between photos. I want to draw attention to the key discussion of the main pages. The cherry shade is used as an accenting color. It references the original design and creates a sense of comfort for regular customers. The complex of 8 variants of headlines font makes design more informal and charismatic. I try to maintain continuity in my choice. For example, Inter and Roberta fonts remind us of the font from the previous site design. In contrast to them, like the accent font for text, headlines are of important blocks like registration and returns to exchange. Roberta Mona font are used. Not far from Roberta Mona font in the regular inscription, you may see the Inter in the bold inscription. There is not many inclusions, but they are a noticeable spot in the aesthetics of the layout. This detail reports some sport and energy vibe. Bottom call to action is another contrast in the design. There is a footer, and the black and white photos, which are intended to give a sense of premium quality. And now I'm going to talk about every layout alternately. The first screen of the first page was changed. The large photo was removed. There are clickable photos of goods used in the landmarks. There is a focus on typography. The contrast between the characters and the sizes of fonts create the dynamic of the visual story. Then you can see a text block about the goods. This should help the site visitors to spark their imagination about the adventures of the goods. It's important to emotional block, so it's highlighted with a contrast color. Now, after that, the site visitor sees the goods. It is a line of rather large pictures. The design is the same as the one used in the catalog. The block system is comfortable for users, perception, and useful for page making. The next block looks rather large because it's bounded in contrast lines, dark subtitle background, and noticeable pointers. A photo that occupies half of the width of the layout also has a lot of visual weight. The block has been supplemented by the interactive feature. As you can see, when a visitor over the catalog name, a large photo changes to a large image of the product in the selected catalog. A picture of an accessory appears of the model in the place of the small photo. A user clicks on the item, the good go to the corresponding catalog page. The next block has more text. This is the text about the additional direction of the store, bodysuit sales. The next block is more emotional because it presents the goods and looks models. As you see, the next block is bigger. It contains logos of the well-known brands, which are similar to the intended style of the products on the site. This is also information that even more stylish images can be found on the brand's social networks, and that the brand owner is always happy to communicate with subscribers. The next block is also contains several text paragraphs, so it is separated from the previous block with a thin horizontal line to maintain the rhythm. These seemingly random graphic elements also supports horizontal stripes, which are found thoughtful with the layout. The next part is very important. It is subscription to the store's news. It is highlighted in a bright color. The block is deliberately minimalist. It loops the visual narrative. The footer, like the header, refer to the classics. There is a logo slightly changed after the site redesign and links to the main pages. Logos of social networks and payment system have been removed. Now the design looks cleaner and more expensive. As a result, the first page has a rhythm, a style which appears in the new layout and which supports the brand's message. The site didn't have a lookbook page before the redesign. As the brand claims a place in the fashion industry, it seemed important to me to make a lookbook section. Add lines were used when I created the page. Photos have contrasting sizes, different framing, and proportions. The minimum amount of text is used. It is grouped in the separate blocks at the beginning and in the end of the layout. I wanted to convey the elegance of the brand or on the catalog page. The combination of fine grid lines, the proportion of product cards, ration of the voids, and the content created the necessary feeling. The content was changed. The text about a specific type of decoration, large photo near the header brand crumbs were removed. All of this made it difficult for the clients to reach their goals, to review the product. Now the user is not hindered by anything. The product page has also changed. The breadcrumbs information about installment and lifetime warranty have been removed. They are in the layout of receiving the goods now. The description is divided into parts of the drop-down list. The often buy together block has also been changed. Now it is a conscience card with two products. The section with reviews as well as the product rating were removed, as I wanted to create a feeling of the certain premium site. The next block had two positions, related products and review or recently. It has been changed to the one. You will also like it. This solution is simpler and more elegant. The layout of the shopping cart page has undergone significant changes. Firstly, now it is not a cart but a bag, since the main product of the brand is rather tiny. The section is a structured list, which ends with the checkout button. for the entire length of the block. The process of making a purchase is the most difficult step of the online shopping, so it is divided into blocks that facilitate the process. The return and exchange page on the original version looked pretty boring. The only thing that made it easier to read the sheet of the text was its grouping into a thread of the width of the site and the distance between the blocks. The combination of such elements looked careless. My solution was to put the information in the grid, highlighted the headers of each block with a caps lock, and makes a separate column out of the thin text paragraphs and highlighted in gray squares. They have already been used in the design system when describing the characteristic of the product. Each of the page has adaptation in which the visual solution of the computer versions were thought. Works was carried out according to the structured plot. A competitive analysis was carried out. The structure of the site was compliant. A visual study was conducted. A prototype was developed. Reference was selected. The design development also included the creation of adaptation for mobile devices and tablets. The UI kit was the result of standardization of all elements and a guide for the project. Summing up, I think that all the tasks have been completed. Thanks to the elaboration of the structure, the site turned out to be user-friendly. The pages look sketchy and restrained at the same time. They convey the atmosphere better. They helped the user to feel their involvement in the values of the brand. A selection of fonts and color solutions create continuity of design. A single standard of the processing photo content would be ideal, but it was necessary to use color and black-white to make it more striking. The set turned out to be visually easy and memorable. It is decorated in the case of behinds, where the development of the company's merch is also demonstrated. Strikers bags business cards. You can also acquaint it with the work in the more detail at the link. I will be very glad of your likes and comments. Thanks to the curators, Oksana, Zlata, and also Evgeny for the opportunity to create such projects. Thank you for watching it.